It's shocking, really, just to be here. Really is. It's mind-boggling. Um, when you first start playing the game of football as a young kid, you hope you might be able to make it to the National Football League, and then if you can make it there, you hope you can survive a final cut and play, and then if you can play for a number of years, that's the ultimate dream. And I was very fortunate to be able to live that ultimate dream as a player with some great football teams. Man, we had a lot of success. Your grandfather was a football genius, and we were the Cincinnati Bengals as an expansion franchise. People feared the Cincinnati Bengals uh, as a football team, not just, oh, it's an expansion team. This was a football team that could knock you off, man. Could beat you on any given Sunday. And to be part of that was just a remarkable experience, something I'll never forget, and learn so much from your grandfather and how he put it together, and the people that he had on his coaching staff and players. And I realized, that, hey, football is just like a lot of things in life. It's the people. It's the people that you choose to work with. It's the people you surround yourself with, and that was a big lesson to be learned. There's no question about that. And then to be able to be allowed to broadcast National Football League games with the Cincinnati Bengals in the radio broadcast booth is like, are you kidding me? That's another dream, two separate dreams, and to be able to fulfill and live them both with the Cincinnati Bengals organization is just incredible in my mind. Something I never ever expected or anticipated. I hoped, certainly hoped for it, and now to be able to, to fulfill that hope. And I can't thank the Bengals organization enough. The Brown family, the Blackburn family have been nothing but class to work with, and have given me opportunities that, are not given to people in a normal course of a career. And for the family and the organization to have confidence in me to be able to play for the organization, and then upon completion of playing for a decade with the organization to be allowed to broadcast and communicate the successes of the organization for 4 decades is just incomprehensible. So, that fourth decade coming up this year will make 40 years, like you described, 50 years overall. And it's like, man, where did those years go? It's like, I can't believe it. It just seems like yesterday that I was still playing for the Cincinnati Bengals, and now here it is, 40th year broadcasting for the Cincinnati Bengals, and so many great players, so many great games, so many great coaches. I mean, there's so many tremendous memories because of the excellence in performance of so many people. And that's the beauty of the game of football. It's the greatest team sport there is. You got 11 pieces, 11 components that have to be operating efficiently and doing their job. If everybody does their job, you're going to have some success. And everybody's codependent on the guy next to them or the person next to them doing their job and doing that job well. And if everybody does do that, going to win a lot of football games. And I think that's a lesson that can be, taken to life. You're not a lonesome soldier out there. You've got an army around you, no matter what profession you're in or what you're doing for your life's work or whatever the situation is that you may be part of. Be a good teammate. Be part of the team in the right way, and contribute to the team's success by doing exactly what you're supposed to do on an everyday basis. Go in fully prepared on a day-to-day basis and take pride in executing your job to the highest level you can possibly execute it, and everything will work out. Everything will work out great. And again, I appreciate the Brown and Blackburn family for giving me the opportunity to do that as a player with phenomenal teammates, and as a broadcaster now with great people in the broadcast booth that I work with. I see Box Miller in the group here, does a great job with this on the Bengals radio network, and is very versatile, very talented broadcaster himself. And I see my man Dan Hoard, who sets the standard for play-by-play talent in the National Football League, and to be able to work every Sunday with these guys doing Bengals football. I don't know. I don't think there's anybody more fortunate than me. I think I've got it better than anybody. There's no doubt about it. Nobody will ever be able to convince me otherwise. And doing exactly what I want to do, who I want to do it with, and where I want to do it.
Lap will go ahead and answer questions now if anyone has them.
Dave, congratulations.
Thanks, Box.
Pardon me if I'm doing something different here. I think I'm going to yield to Dan. He's been in the booth longer than you, and then I'll follow Dan. So, Dan, out of respect for the partnership, I'm going to let you do the first kudos, and I'll wait and go next.
Well, I will extend my congratulations to Lap. I'm getting a little teary after his comments about us. Lap and I did a lengthy conversation for my podcast, the Bengals Booth podcast, our podcast, I should say. So right. I do not need to chime in with any additional questions on this forum. I'll leave that to others that haven't had the opportunity to talk to him about this. But I do appreciate the opportunity to congratulate Lap on this streaming platform, because I know fans are watching this live, and I couldn't be more thrilled for my partner. Nobody's more deserving. Everybody on the ballot is worthy of induction. But on a personal note, I'm thrilled that Lap was chosen by the fans this year, and I can't wait to wear my number 62 Bengals jersey for that Jets game in October.
Yeah, I think you make a great point. The Cincinnati Bengals organization has been so successful for so many years. There's a ton of players that could be in the Ring of Honor. I mean, it's remarkable, and I do congratulate and appreciate the fact that the Brown Blackburn family is doing a Ring of Honor to honor some of these players in excellence of play and coaches' excellence of coaching, and whatever the case may be, that the contribution that was made for the overall success of the football team, and to be one of the first 12 people inducted into this Ring of Honor is absolutely insane in my mind. It really is, because I know the caliber of players that I played with great players. I mean, phenomenal players. I know the type of coaches that we had that were game planning and doing their thing and getting us ready to perform at the highest level against the opposing NFL teams. And man, I'm talking, the NFL is the best of the best. So for them to get us ready to go out and perform as players, and for the players to go out and do that, perform as the coaches expected us to perform, and to be part of that is a dream come true. It's a life's dream, there's no doubt. And to be able to fulfill it, to be able to live that dream in real life, in real time, is just absolutely mind-boggling. But I do, again, want to thank the Brown Blackburn family for the opportunity to be part of this outstanding group of men in the Ring of Honor, and to realize that it's going to be there forever. Nobody will be able to do anything to change it, and it's a lifetime honor, and I just want to pinch myself to make sure it's a fact, to make sure it's real, because the guys that are in there, I know how great they were, and I know how hard they worked to be great, and that's the thing. There are no shortcuts, and guys that are in the Ring of Honor gave every ounce of everything they had to be able to perform whatever it may be as a player or as a coach at the highest possible level to achieve success in the NFL. And that's what it's all about. That's the test every single week, is to go out there and play at your highest level. Make sure you reach the pinnacle of your talent, and do everything you possibly can to help your team win. And there's nothing like winning in a team sport. The camaraderie, the celebration of victory, the realization of accomplishing, a task that the entire group wanted to fulfill. There's nothing better, really isn't.
Lap, talk about just sharing the moment with your family, what that was like, being able to share the joy with them.
Yeah, Box, it was special. Special is what comes to mind, but I don't know if it's a strong enough word. I'm not sure there's a word to describe it. It's just otherworldly, really. And to have my wife Lynn, who is a big part of this for my entire career, she just took care of everything other than football. Anything from a family standpoint. I tried my best to contribute, make sure I did my share of planning things and getting kids where they needed to get and all that sort of thing, and taking care of her as well. And don't miss any celebrations of birthdays or anniversaries or whatever the case may be. But she did. She took care of everything for everybody, for our entire family, and the relief that provided for me was huge. I mean, felt no burden whatsoever. Not that taking care of your family is a burden, but on top of, your football tasks, to have those responsibilities added on can be overwhelming sometimes. And I saw it overwhelm guys in their relationships with their wives and their families a little bit. And I think a big part of it was it wasn't a tight enough bond between the husband, wife, the mother and father of the family, and unfortunately, I guess I don't know about unfortunately, but the way the game is, the wives are huge. The wives set the tone, set the standard. They take care of the entire family and the day-to-day things that need to be taken care of for the entire family, and it's a huge task. So I feel like my family is very excited about it. Lynn's super excited. My kids, Dave and Sarah, are, they're they're pumped up to say the least. They're flowing as such. And then my grandkids, man, I got 4 grandkids. Both my kids have a boy and a girl each, and Casey and Gabby are just thrilled and excited, and Cam and Lucy are as well. So I think the reaction of the grandchildren is the best, because they really don't know the ins and outs of football and the specifics and X's and O's of it, and all that kind of stuff, and the sacrifices and commitment you have to make. All they know is that they get to watch it and listen to it and read about it and all that sort of thing, and have their granddad be honored by the team that he played for is pretty cool to them. I mean, they can go brag to all their friends and all that sort of thing, that they have a relative that made the Ring of Honor with the Cincinnati Bengals in the NFL. So I guess I'm excited that they're excited, and they definitely are excited.
Thank you.
Thank you, Box.
Hey, Lap, congratulations.
Appreciate it, Tregs.
You bet. Obviously, an incredible honor for you.
Yes.
And you're known as Mr. Bengal. And I know when you hear that, you kind of shake your head with some humility, but it's a great honor to be known as somebody who represents a franchise that's, 59 years old now, almost 60 years old. Where does your passion for the franchise come from? And when did you first know that you had that kind of passion for the Bengals?
Well, I mean, growing up, I had a passion for football. Just the game itself. I was mesmerized, and the game of football captured my curiosity for sure. And I always was bigger. Even as a young boy, I played with boys a lot older because I was bigger. And so I got to learn the game in an interesting fashion, because it definitely challenged desire and love for the game, because playing against much older guys that are more mature and physical and all that. It was challenging sometimes, but I always enjoyed it, man. At the end of the day, there wasn't anything better I could have done. So football's always had a big place in my heart, and was able to play it at the high school level and achieved some success and honors, and then get a scholarship to Syracuse University and play there, and get some recognition and honors there as well, and then get drafted by the Bengals in the third round. The 60th pick of the draft, and that year it was like, are you kidding me? I'm actually going to be able to do what I wanted to do my entire life. I mean, how many people can say that they're doing exactly what they wanted to do when they're a child, a lot of years ago. And then to be able to do it for the same franchise for 50 years. And like you say, they're about 60 years in existence themselves. To be there for 50 of those 60 years as a player and as a broadcaster, I mean, that's different. That's unique. That's special. To see all that history unfold, to be part of it as a player and make contributions to successful seasons and going to Super Bowls and things like that, and then to witness it as a broadcaster, to see the players put it together from training camp, watch it build and watch the momentum build and watch the performances get better and better and peak at the right time and go through the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl as a broadcaster is a unique experience as well. And to have both of those opportunities to live while doing those two opportunities it's second to none. It is extremely rare. It's rarefied air. And I know that. I'm aware of that, and I don't take it for granted. And I guess that's where my passion and emotion comes from. I know there's a million people out there that like to be doing what I'm doing, and to be able to be the person that's doing it and be allowed to do it for as long as I've done it. I feel a definite sense of loyalty and to the organization, to the players, to the coaches, to everybody involved, and a passion as well. It's you want to see the team that you're working with or working for do well. Just human nature. And when the team does well, it's very easy to be emotional and happy about it and excited and everything that goes along with it. The true test is when the team's struggling. How are you going to handle that? Well, I decided that I'm going to handle it in a energetic, enthusiastic manner because I'm still doing what I want to do, and I'm doing it at the highest level. The National Football League is second to none with how it's put together, how it's run from top to bottom, and the Cincinnati Bengals are a great example of an organization that knows what it's doing and takes care of its players. So I'm very honored to be part of, the weekend performance, I guess, of the National Football League on a week in, week out basis for its fan base. And I'm glad to be part of it. And if I can provide entertainment for people that are unable to watch the game and can tune in on the radio, and if I can paint a picture with my words and descriptions and emotions that lend itself to describing it at the highest level possible, that I'm all in for that. And even if they're watching it on TV, if they want to turn the sound down as people do and listen to the radio broadcast, I can't think of a higher compliment. And Dan Hoard and I are very appreciative of those that do that. And we therefore want to do the best job we possibly can and put on a good show for folks.
Hey, Lap, congrats. You mentioned it, painting pictures. I think everybody on this call has a favorite Lap call or co-call, as it may be, with your various partners. Do you have one? Do you have a favorite call from your radio career in 40 years?
Boy, I'm not sure. I guess there'd be doing Super Bowl broadcasts, or that's the pinnacle. That's the pinnacle as a player. If you get to a Super Bowl as a player, it's like it's it's a phenomenal achievement. There were a lot of big plays during the course of the season that helped you get there, helped you win football games. There's no doubt, but to get into the Super Bowl every single snap is like important, man. I mean, it's the game could hang on the balance. Anytime you take a snap in any game, really, but in the Super Bowl, it's even that much more important because that's it. That's the last game of the year. You don't want to miss an opportunity to make a big play, take advantage of a situation that could put you in a good position to take charge of the football game. And I guess, plays over the Super Bowl seasons that the Bengals have had that have allowed them to get back into a game when down by 20 points or to build a lead or whatever the case may be. Those are the kind of plays that really stick with me. Unfortunately, haven't been able to make that game-winning call in terms of a Super Bowl. Hasn't worked out that way yet, but really feel fortunate to, be part of three of them. That's not something that a lot of people can say as a player and a broadcaster. So I feel fortunate in that regard as well.
Lap, congrats.
Thanks.
So being an offensive lineman, it's, not the guy who gets the glamour, like a wide receiver, a quarterback, etc. But now between yourself, Anthony Munoz, Willie Anderson, Bengals fans are recognizing the importance of it. You guys are getting the spotlight. Why do you think that is that the Bengals fans specifically, because in other organizations you might not be seeing that, appreciate the position so much?
Yeah, that's an interesting observation. I do think the fans appreciate the offensive line and offensive line play. And I think a big part of it is because the organization itself has always felt that way. Paul Brown was a big believer in it. Paul Brown played the quarterback position. So Paul Brown knew that the only way that he was able to put up numbers that people would be like, wow, that's pretty impressive, or and then to help his teammates set that highest standard and achieve those numbers as well was if the offensive line played well for him. And he talked to, I was fortunate enough to hear him in a couple of conversations up at training camp talk about, offensive lines and offensive line plan, how important they are. And he was talking about his offensive lines at Ohio State, how dominant they were, his offensive line with the Cleveland Browns, how dominant they were, and that he wanted to make sure that the Cincinnati Bengals were well stocked in that area in the offensive line as well. So he was a big believer in building that position, those positions, and that position group to a high level of performance. And if so, the entire football team the ship would be lifted, and the entire football team would be competing at that high level. And as a result, I mean, his philosophy and his premise proved true. Great offensive lines at Ohio State. They had really good quarterback play. Great offensive lines with the Cleveland Browns. They had outstanding quarterback play. When we had great offensive lines with the Cincinnati Bengals, Kenny Anderson was MVP. Boomer Esiason was MVP. Joe Burrow is on the cusp of MVP. So if you've got a quarterback that's immensely talented, it's up to the offensive line to allow him the opportunity and the time to show that, to show everything that he's got. And the Brown family, Paul Brown and Mike Brown. Mike Brown played quarterback himself at Dartmouth, so he understood the importance of effective offensive line play as well. And I do think that they've always valued offensive linemen, and honestly, they drafted and developed the greatest offensive lineman to ever played a game, Anthony Munoz. So I think that's a testament. That's a forever in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. The greatest football player that ever played the position in the offensive line is a Cincinnati Bengal. And I think Paul Brown is, and probably still is, wherever he may be, very proud of that and probably talks about it a lot. And I know Mike Brown is extremely proud of it and understands the importance of it, and how, once you get that building block with that offensive line, particularly the left tackle position, the toughest spot to play in the offensive line because of the athleticism of the guys that you're going against. And that edge rusher on that right side of the defense is normally gifted. So if you can build a good group up front, that offensive line, and let the skill players do their thing, normally you're going to have a lot of success as a football team.
Lemar, first of all, congratulations. I was actually a fan when you were playing back in the day, and really enjoyed you. When you think about the evolution of the defensive back position and how you helped to elevate that, and now being recognized as a Bengal, talk about your feelings around that.
Oh, well, I feel great about that. And I'm glad that the Bengals drafted me. I had a chance to learn the game, and I had a chance to play for one of the greatest coaches that ever lived, Paul Brown. And when I was a young boy, I came to the Bengals as a defensive back, which I never played it before. And I had great coaching in Chuck Weber. One thing about Paul Brown is that he's a great organizer, and he's going to have great coaches around him. And I was able to learn how to play the game from Chuck Weber. And the game became simple to me because he broke it down and taught me and rallied the do's and don'ts and stance and what to look for and etc. So I had great coaching there, and I'm glad to have been chosen by Paul Brown.
And going into the Ring of Honor now, another accomplishment. Talk about that and what it means to you.
It means the world to me. In fact, hey, this is a dream. I had a dream as a little boy of becoming the greatest player in the world. I had big dreams as a kid. I can recall sitting on the couch with my mother, telling her that I was going to play football, that I was going to take care of her. And this honor means the world to me. I put in a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of fear of not producing and not being the best that I was capable of being. So to have been chosen means the world to me. And I'm grateful and I'm thankful for this committee for recognizing the things I have done.
Thank you.
Hey, Lemar, congratulations. Because you were so dynamic with the ball in your hands and because of your background as a running back before you got to the NFL, I'm a little surprised you never had a career reception or rush. Did they ever talk about using you on offense?
Yes, they did. Hey, when I first got there, because of my speed and my quickness and my ability to catch the ball, they did talk about that. But Paul needed a defensive back. And Paul told him, no, I'm going to utilize him on defense. And I never got the chance to play offense. So I'm glad I didn't because I was too small to be a running back. And I would not have lasted. Those guys was too big, too strong for me. So I take my hat off to Coach Brown for recognizing talent. I was drafted as an athlete. They didn't know where I was going to play, but they did know I was going to run punt returns because that was my specialty.
Lemar, congratulations. Wanted to ask you about the style and grace and flair that you played with. Some people would say you were Deion well before Deion Sanders ever became a household name in the NFL. Where did your style and the flair that you played the game with come from? Where did that emanate from?
I think it came from God's given. I was blessed with speed and quickness, and I just had a knack for making people miss. as a little boy, I used to play a lot of sand-out football. See, I was always the smallest guy. In fact, I always been the little guy every place that I was been. So I had to find a way to get around the big guys and etc. So I had to use my speed and quickness. Those things were my greatest attributes. And I worked on them daily. I was on the beaches in the morning, running the soft sand. I was on the highways, running down the highways with the football in my hand. So every place you saw Lemar did, I had a football in my hand. And shoot, that was by the grace of God. You understand me? I didn't have anyone to pattern myself after. I had to go and create things on my own. And I was very innovative. I would imagine guys coming down running certain routes and stuff like that on me. And I'd be talking to myself coming out the break and etc. So I spent a lot of time by myself because I didn't have anyone to work out with me at the time. See, I was the first to go off from Palm Beach County. And I had to set the stage for those coming behind me, such as O.J. Anderson, Anthony Collins, Devin Helston, all those guys. And thank God to have those guys on the field with me. I think I was 8 years in the pros, so that those guys were number one draft choices. They come out thinking they're going to be the old man. But, hey, that wasn't to be. I was all pro. But, hey, yes, I learned a lot from those guys, too.
Hey, Lemar, I tip my hat to you. This was probably not fancy enough for you to wear, but I wanted to wear something that would honor your style. Is there anybody playing today that you enjoy watching? Anybody who might? I don't think there's anybody like you out there, but anybody you enjoy watching and kind of, maybe kind of reminds you a little bit of yourself?
Yes, I like Chase. Chase is a great wide receiver. He's the game breaker. Every time he touched the ball, that he think that he could score. And he kind of reminded me of myself, you know what I'm saying? Because I thought that I was supposed to score every time I touched the ball. Chase does a great job at that. You get put in his hands, and he outrun people. Either he make them miss. So, yeah, there's several guys that that I like. So I would say that Chase probably would be the one that I most admire.
Thank you.
Lemar, congrats. I know Hobbs talked about it a little bit there about your fashion, and you kind of set the precedent back then. Is there any fashion, anyone you like looking at now to see how they're styling?
Well, these young guys is a little bit different. You know what I mean? We wanted to dress and, we all have our own style. Speedy Thomas, Elbow Champ, and all those, you know what I mean? We just wanted to dress. It wasn't trying to pattern ourselves after anybody. We just did our own thing, and my thing was to do what I did. You know what I'm saying? I like mink coats. I like being different. I didn't care what people thought. They called me the rainbow because I had colors. I had all. But, that was me. And I never wanted to be like anybody else. I just wanted to be Lemar, you know what I'm saying? Because I had my own style, and it didn't matter what people said about it.
Lemar, can I ask you your thoughts on joining Ken Riley, your longtime colleague in the Bengals secondary, joining him in the Ring of Honor, and what your relationship was like with Ken when you guys played with Cincinnati?
Hey, well, first I would like to say thank you to the Riley family, to Riley number 2, a great young man. And they followed me. They pushed me. They encouraged me. Hey, just have patience, Lemar, that is coming. I want to take my hats off to him and Barbara, his wife, and family. But Riley and I was very close. Different in some ways, but alike in many ways. And we loved the game. And we shared ideas. We shared hope for the future. And we talked about family. We talked about business. We talked about the Hall of Fame. We always thought that both of us should go in together. And he beat me there, but I'm happy for him. He's a great cornerback. A different styles. He was the off man, very elusive, very quick. And he mastered the off game because he was a technician. My style was in your face. I wanted to challenge every move that you gave me and kind of put my hands on you and utilize my quickness. But Riley and I was roommates for 8 years. Never had a confrontation. We always had fun. We always shared ideas. We always shared life situations. So, he is my ride or die. He is my friend. And sorry that he's not here. And because I know he'll be smiling and saying, leaping. And he always called me that leaping Lemar and smiled every time we got together. And in fact, I talked with him a couple of days before he deceased. We was talking and laughing as we always do. And I miss him.
Hey,
Oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Talk about you're going in with Dave Lapham. Talk about that offense back in the day and what you remember about Dave and the offensive line.
Lapham was one of the best linemen I've seen in the game. That's what I mean. That he was hardworking. He was a technician. He that he can open the whole booby clock and those guys, they had the best line there, you understand, because Lapham was the leader. And I remember him begging to run behind me, short yards and stuff. He always Paul said, no, Lap. We got to run the ball where we think that we're going to get the first down. But Lap wanted every play to be run behind him. That's a testimony to his greatness, and he is highly deserving to be in the Ring of Honor.
Thank you.
Hey, Lemar, Lap said that Kenny Riley called you the eraser. Is that do you remember how that came about? What he would say about that?
I don't know, but Ken just called me a lot of things because we used to joke at each other and have fun. You know what I mean? We had all kind of things going because I was calling him the Rattler, but I was calling him all kind of things, So I don't know where the name came from, but Lap remember all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know where it come from, but I'll take it.
Hey, Lamar, I'm curious about something, and I'm sorry if it opens old wounds, but you were in your prime when they traded you. Were there hard feelings at the time? And if so, when did the relationship with the Bengals kind of come back together?
Never had hard feelings. In fact, I got total respect for Coach Brown and Mike Brown, and because they have been good to me. The football is a business. It's a game, but it's a business within the game. And I understood, you know what I mean, because I was asking for a certain amount, and it was business with Paul, and it was business with me also. So we just had to do what we had to do, and I don't have any animosity toward Paul or Mike because Mike Brown has been really good to me, you know what I mean? Because when I was coaching, I would call him, I would ask him for equipment, for shoes and stuff like that. He never said no. So I don't have any hard feelings. The Bengals gave me the opportunity. Paul Brown gave me the opportunity. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful because I don't know where I would have got drafted at. And then he gave me an opportunity to showcase my talent, and I'm grateful. The Bengals will always be my team. I love the guys. The guys were phenomenal. Ken Riley, Isaac Curtis, Bob Trump, all those guys, Ken Anderson. Hey, we have fun in the locker room. Like they say, if you heard it in the North End locker room, that was me. We kept it live there, you know what I mean? Because we was all young. We enjoyed each other. We cared about each other. And, the Bengals is my team, you know what I mean? Because I learned how to play the game.
Lemar, looking at football just in general and where you're from, West Palm, and you talked about just the talent, but when you think about how you play the game and you look at someone like a Lamar Jackson being right in that same neighborhood, what do you think it is that makes it special for guys coming out of there to excel?
Hey, well, Florida is a sunshine state, you know what I mean? We play football year round. As a kid, you know what I mean, I was on the football field every day, sandlot. Never played in organized football until I got to high school. I only played 2 years of high school, so that we played. Once we got that school bus, we was on the football field. We was in the sandlot playing football. So I think that the weather and the competition there was phenomenal. We had to play. We had to prove ourselves down there because there were so many great ones coming before us that we had to kind of keep up with the game. You know what I mean? We had to show and tell.